Good evening, everyone. We have 100% attendance for our sitting board members, so thank you all for being here. Happy New Year, everybody. And you have before you the proposed agenda for tonight's meeting. Open to a motion to approve this agenda or make any changes you see.
Move to be approved.
Okay, got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say no. Okay. If you will, please, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In your emails, you had the minutes from the December 6th regular meeting. If you haven't had a chance to review those, please do so, and we'll entertain a motion that those be approved.
I'm making a motion to approve December minutes.
Okay, got a motion?
A second.
And a second. Any discussion about the minutes? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say no. Thank you. You also have disbursements in the email, I believe, that came out today. So you want to take a few moments and look at those. Ms. Williams, as far as a financial question, on the FEMA cash disbursements, those are, that grand total is our disbursements toward that project.
That's correct.
And so that does not include, it probably won't include reflection of any reimbursements that we get through the grant, right? Because this is only disbursements.
That's correct.
Okay, those will be, have we got any of those?
No, sir, because I think we have to spend like over 100,000 to
Right,
be
right.
eligible to even file a report.
Right, I think we hit that threshold last month maybe with those
Yeah.
disbursements,
Yeah.
but this is the federal government we're
Right.
working through.
That's
so.
correct.
Say no
And so-
more.
And we have to submit minutes and documentation
Right.
and clear checks from the bank
Sure, sure.
along with that report.
And this is the first.
Yes.
Being the optimist I am, I think once we get that
Get that
system
rolling,
sort of
yeah.
rolling, maybe subsequent reimbursements won't
Right,
take
and
so
our
long.
project manager is the one that submits those reports. He is the one that's handling all that.
And they're pretty savvy in that
Yeah.
with this, so, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Move we approve the
Okay. Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any other questions or comments about the disbursements? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say no. All right. Very good. Ms. Williams, back to you.
One thing I have to report is our ESSER funds, 3.0. I think I mentioned last month that it has been approved, and we have placed the order for the bus and just waiting on the new line boards to come in, and as soon as that happens, then we'll start in the process of getting purchase orders out to getting items ordered. But that's all I have.
Awesome. Any questions? Ms. Williams? Okay. As far as committee reports, I don't think we have any. Mr. Jones is not. A lot of folks are out given the fact that we had snow day today. All the schools in the community were closed. So.
Yeah, I excuse all them. I did speak with Mr. Jones today, and there's really not a lot to report other than what would be in the finance part
Right,
here, which would
right.
consist of the invoices.
Yeah. Okay. As far as you said the ESSER fund, the projects have been approved. The architects are through with the renovations inside the existing building, right?
I think they're still working on it.
There's still some issues with that.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
They're working at it.
Any gut feel on when that,
When they'll start, no, we do have a good feel that it will be finished by August.
oh, okay.
And that's what we
That's-
told them. That's kind of the
that's-
deadline.
that's the important
It
bit.
is. We're working to the point that that has to be finished by August.
The plans or the project?
The project.
Project.
And we're talking about, yeah.
Humans in the news.
Humans and going.
Students
full
and
tilt.
teachers going at it, yeah.
And so their understanding of that. But I think it's real close.
Okay, and then also as far as the FEMA building, I'm anticipating that groundbreaking is, if we're gonna stay on schedule, gotta be fairly soon, right?
I think so. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't mean days, but you feel like we would be weeks.
Yeah, right now that we're still waiting on some approval from the fire marshal and some of those things. We don't have complete approval, but designs have already been put in. There's still some not structural's fine. There's electrical and those things. No, a lot of that's going to be dependent upon what we decide to do with school boards and those things. But yeah, I mean, I would think it would be not too far off. But based on both construction managers for both projects, they say we're fine right now.
Okay, okay, super. We eagerly anticipate groundbreaking on that.
You know, it's always a lot more fun when you can see some kind of work going on.
That's right. That is right. Okay. Any other questions, comments about facilities, transportation? Finance, a couple of things. We have a couple of invoices. These are becoming very standard operating procedure. We got a invoice, JBHM, in the amount of $55,116 for their services.
And, you know, this is just paperwork, you know, basically this goes through the city, you know, they're the ones that set approval. But they like to see us also approving on it too.
Yes. Okay, so could I get a motion that you had that in your, as one of your attachments. You looked that over.
Would be approved.
Okay, got a motion that we approve that disbursement, or recommend that payment,
Second.
and a second. Any discussions or questions about that? All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed say no. Okay, that passes. We also need approval of payment of invoice number 2 to Broadus and Associates, $19,316. Same situation there, where we need to recommend that be paid. Any discussion of that?
Move to approve?
Okay, got a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say no. Great, thank you. Nothing else from finance, insurance, and policy.
The only thing we have is policy 4.5021, family engagement. We need to, it needs to be voted on per second reading to have it removed. We already have policy 4.5021 that supersedes this policy.
Okay. So is that a motion I hear from you?
I move to have it removed.
Not to put words in your mouth, but you.
I move to have it removed.
Okay, we got a motion
That's it.
and a second. Any further discussion of this item? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say no. Great, thank you, appreciate that. Mr. Hopkins?
Just going to, I'd like to recommend that that we approve the calendar for the 22-23 academic school year. We did get input from employees, from community members, and we also got input from our 2 other sister systems here in Lincoln County. And we've had a lot of people look at it and think it's a really good calendar.
Has everybody taken a quick look at that, or did you take a look at it beforehand?
What's the red dot?
You don't know, I have a black and white one here.
I've got January
January
4th.
4th is the red.
January 4th.
Day students.
That'll be the day we start back.
That's a full day for students. They're going to come back on the 4th.
Okay.
So unlike this year, where they came back on the 5th, they're gonna come back on the 4th.
Okay.
It appears the red dots correspond to first and last days
That
of
is-
the term, whether it's a,
Yeah.
did I see it in August 1st as a half day and then December 19th as a half day? There's not a legend, there's not a key on here telling us what that red means, but
It is.
I think that's.
That is correct.
No school the rest of the year.
Don't vote on that.
It is good though that we're able to line things up pretty well with the other systems. That makes it easier on families, I know.
It is very beneficial for lots of reasons, you know.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the 22-23 school calendar.
All right. Got a motion
Second.
and a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say no. Great.
The only other thing I have is School Board Appreciation Week is this month, January is, but we're going to celebrate it January the 23rd to the 29th. So if y'all could kind of pencil in your calendars there, that's when the schools will probably be doing a few things for you. So just let you know, January 23rd to the 29th, when we're going to officially celebrate that.
Okay.
And just as for FYI, I would really like to thank Sandy and Lisa for coming in tonight and doing this. And also I'd like to thank Jeff and Bryant and his staff, because they came in also and checked on all of our facilities to make sure that they were up and running. I mean, those are the kind of people you don't see behind the scenes, but you know they're working, going at it. So I appreciate you two ladies coming in tonight.
Critical.
That is it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. It is kind of a light meeting tonight. A couple of things. You also had in your packets a resolution of appreciation for food service workers. Another important, vital part of our school system, and you have a resolution there that's up for consideration tonight for the board to pass. Whereas food service staff members are an essential part of our efforts to meet the needs of the whole child in our school. And whereas food service employees are often the first ones at school to start the day off right with good, healthy meals for the students and staff members, in some cases, the hot meals they prepare are the only ones the students may get daily. And whereas the Board of Education and Superintendent of the Fayetteville City Schools recognize and appreciate the important work of the food service workers, and whereas food service staff members work hard to promote a healthy eating lifestyle for our students and staff every day, now therefore be it resolved that this board acknowledges and expresses its appreciation to each food service staff member in our school district. Be it further resolved that January 13th, 2022 is hereby established as Food Service Appreciation Day in all Fayetteville City schools. Be it further resolved that the board encourages each school to participate in the celebration of honoring these important school employees. And that resolution is up for your consideration tonight to show our appreciation.
You gonna change the date? It said the 13th.
This is food service. He was talking about school board week, I think. You were talking
Yes,
about
that's
school
correct.
board.
Oh.
Yeah, this is for January, the whole month.
I got confused on that initially myself too.
Yeah. Don't worry, I confused myself too. I looked at it, oh, my.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the resolution of appreciation.
Okay, thank you. A motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say no. Great. Okay, a couple of things before we go. I'd like to just ask Mr. Hopkins if, with the board's permission, to maybe look into dates over the next few months that we might have a work session of some sort. I don't know if we, depending on the amount of things to be discussed, half day, whole day, whatever you and the staff think is appropriate, and the location of that y'all might want to recommend.
I think a whole day would be great,
Okay.
where we could do a small breakfast, do some morning part, lunch, and then 3 o'clock. If a day is good, that was my question. For some of you, especially that have to work, would you prefer to do that in a lunch evening type setting, or did you do a morning, whatever works best? Tommy's asked off, so he's asked for vacation days.
I'll make it happen pretty much any day.
So,
The only
Mondays or
request I
Fridays.
have is like not on a Monday.
now, I agree, Monday's my big day too, so I would think so. So,
Maybe you can throw some dates out.
that's what I'll do. I just want to make sure that y'all are good with, an 8:30 start time, something like that.
Yeah, and this won't be something we sneak in before the February board meeting.
No.
We'll have to get public notice and do all the right things there, so, but I did want to get that in the discussion. The other thing, a very important thing for all of us, and y'all probably already done yours, you got a letter from the state of Tennessee saying file your ethics report for 2022, so you got till the end of the month. If you haven't done that, please don't be delinquent on that report. I suspect some of you, if you're like me, on January 1st, knock that out while the servers are not very heavily loaded. And then we, of course, have 5 sitting board members with the resignation of Mr. Whitmore last month. And so we're anticipating that the city board will appoint a replacement board member that who will serve through the November election. So I anticipate that may happen in the next month or so. And once that happens, then we'll sort of finalize. We've got a hole in the finance committee, and we'll need to make a few adjustments there. So
we're going to take care of it next Tuesday night.
that's absolutely great.
It'll be on the agenda
Great.
next week.
Great, thank you. So if, given that happens, then probably in February meeting, we'll finalize. That's not a huge deal, but we do need to kind of complete those committee assignments. Last thing I had was February 7th is our next board meeting on the calendar. Monday, February 7th. Does that look like a reasonable time for all of y'all? Okay. Any closing remarks?
I will say that I don't know what dugout it was, but they dug out and the guy destroyed it, Don Davidson, through that storm. It completely destroyed it. Don't know if it's the one the city uses or not. I've not been down there. I don't know.
It is. I met with
But we're working on it.
Chief Howell this morning,
We're working on
and he said, yes, that should not be a problem. They've already contacted insurance.
Gotcha.
That will probably be ready before season, unlike the other parts, but yeah, they're already on it. But it is apparently one of the ones that we use. I've not been down there either, but Chief Howell said it is one we used.
Yeah, the insurance adjuster came today. He's working on it and told us to go ahead and get some costs on contractors. So shouldn't be too long. Should get it done.
Great. Well, wood and metal can always be put back, and we're thankful nobody was, those school system folks were injured. So. Good. Any other? All right. Thank you all very much. Again, Happy New Year. We stand adjourned.